Fascinating hypothesis coming from the dawn of human history tell us that periodically the Earth is visited by special beings coming from other worlds in order to help mankind during his difficult journey. The stories are turned into legends and are lost in the mists of time. Giants are told to have populated the Earth before the mankind of nowadays did. They are also told to have shown the mankind the way for making the greatest discoveries, so promoting the evolution of our civilization. Finally, they are told to be the real authors of the monumental works and of the mysterious things that still lie unknowable on the Earth, even today. But in the present day are still there those exceptional beings who help the human race to face its evolutionary cycle. The mankind is too careless to notice if such beings are presently trampling our soil, and too rational and disenchanted to recognize or believe it. Yet, somebody is sure that they live among us secretly, unrecognizable to the most, confused among the people, and silently working for the good of humanity. Nowadays, those beings no longer help the mankind in the rotation of practical life. They no longer suggest to us the way for making great discoveries or upsetting truths. On the contrary, they cry out the alarm, encourage the awakening of mankind's greedy and dull mind. They bring the mankind back to his natural dimension and warn it about the great cataclysms that it is destined to suffer as a result of its irresponsibility. They also work in order to obtain a human transformation starting from its innermost in order to reach a greater unity. But who are they? How do they live? How do they feel living on this disastrous and retrograde planet? Are they aware of their mission, or do they believe they are common men, even though a little different? Is it possible to meet them, recognize them? Are they happy among us, or are they marginalized, rejected? And if they are among us, who are they actually? The stranger on the earth is who neither can find peace nor a place where to stay. He always keeps his eyes turned towards the sky and feels like a prisoner on this planet. He always feels a strong nostalgia that he can't define. He is moved when he looks at the stars, and he can't identify himself with anything or anyone. He feels himself bound to the natural elements. He loves the stones, the earth, the fire, the water, the clear and crystalline air, the majestic trees and the wind, the oceans and the endless deserts, all the forms of life, even the smaller. However, all this is a source of continuous amazement and of wonder for him. Like a tourist, he is surprised and fascinated, visiting pleasant and new places. He is attracted to all this because he feels that his body is made of the same elements of the universe, and then he recognizes themselves in them, but only like essential elements to life on this planet, and not like a thing that represents himself, because he feels his human body as a narrow and limiting vehicle. The stranger is a solitary man, often an introvert fellow, who would like to escape to the highest mountains or sink into the deep sea. He always charms the other people and is both strongly loved or hated. Never he provokes indifference, and even though he often lives among people, he prefers to stay in solitude. He is an independent man. He knows enough and can take care of himself without resorting to anything and anyone. He knows how to deeply love everything, a blade of grass or human being as well. But he can give up any tenderness and withdraw without losing his love for everything. The stranger lives in no man's land, having no country, no race, no chains. He isn't a citizen of the world either, because he feels lost wherever he goes. In his opinion, there are no differences among men or countries, because every country both fascinates and rejects him, because he thinks that every man is one of his own, despite being too different alike in comparison with him. He belongs to the human race just because he takes the shape of a common man, but he cannot identify himself with anything or anyone. He spends his life trying to escape from the world, looking for other boundless spaces, something like a no place that he never can find. Looking everywhere, he goes on asking himself such question: what is my place? Anyhow, even walking down lots of roads, he never finds the right one. The stranger has got an eclectic character. He is interested in everything and fascinated by science and technology, but he never deepens anything. He learns what he needs, just for the momentary need, and then he looks for another subject. He has got an excellent gift for handicraft work that he prefers to use just for the practical purposes and for his daily survival. He is strongly capable of adapting to different situations, and he is greatly able to transform and reuse materials of all kinds. The stranger is timeless. He constantly lives the present, and he isn't able to plan the future. He quickly forgets the past and transforms everything into data to be processed in order to quickly learn what he needs. The stranger does not belong to anyone and does not want anything or anyone belonging to him. He is a tramp on the earth. Some of them try to find an adaptation, never resigning themselves. Some of them never succeed in getting a sort of adaptation and actually remain tramps forever. Some of them end up becoming alienated. Some of them discover and accept the task for which they came here. The stranger has got a very developed intuition that guides him. He has got telepathic skills and can communicate with the universe, receiving the suitable directions. Some of them know they cannot decide on their life, but not all of them understand it in time, so that they aren't able to follow the indicated path or to find the right way. Sometimes a stranger needs many years to understand what his path is, so that occasionally his fellow men show him the right way. The stranger is allowed to meet other strangers like him, but it is up to him to recognize them and to be recognized. Anyhow, there is no guarantee that he can be understood by the humans whom he can live with, but he cannot integrate with them. There is no guarantee that the stranger is allowed to know anything for certain, and if he creates certainties, they are destroyed, removed, and he must begin to wander again. He goes where people is waiting for him. Along his whole life, he travels just keeping a small baggage in his hand, living thanks to the poor handouts coming from the universe. Where does this mysterious and fascinating being, who falls into the folly of heroes and martyrs, come from? The universe is his home, and his journey has no end, because as long as there are weak and suffering beings, he will be sent to rescue them. He is the messenger of a voice of peace and awakening, and his only baggage is love. My name is Jose Antonio Galan, and this voiceover is from an article by Laura Casu.